This is my review for episode 10 of The Walking Dead. So this episode starts off with Zeke bringing the goods for the Saviors. And Zeke is King Ezekiel. I'm just calling him Zeke because I know him like that. So that one jerk who got beat up by Richard before is just acting like an asshole. And he's saying like that he wants Richard's gun and stuff, and then he ends up trying to hit him, and Morgan has to defend him with his stick. So the guy ends up taking Morgan's stick from him. And I'm sure he's thinking Rick's plan is looking a little better right now. Benjamin is getting much better with the stick. Morgan was a great teacher, and his teacher was a great teacher. Daryl sees Morgan's injury because, he got hit for defending Richard. And he knows that he just was with the Saviors. So Daryl is like, yo, you need to be part of this revolution. Like, what the fuck is going on with you? Like, I don't know what's up with you, but you got to get with the program. Daryl says if Carol was here and she knew about what was going on, she'd definitely go after them. And Morgan says, yeah, that's why she left. And damn, it's like, honestly, Carol is the only person that's kind of living in her own bubble right now. And I understand why she did it. Like, I was so mad. I was like, damn, Carol, don't run away. But now I see why she did it. So Daryl finally gets his crossbow back, and I was actually really happy. I was like, Daryl can finally have a piece of him back, which, it's not his crossbow. I think Dwight still has his crossbow, but I was just like, yes, now we're gonna get Daryl. Like, we knew he was not gonna be broken by the brainwashing Negan tried to do. Damn, yo, Negan tried to go hard. They went hard. Well, Dwight went hard trying to break him. And Daryl is strong as hell. Some people feel like Daryl is overrated. And to those people, I say, fuck you. Rich plans to lead the Saviors to Carol's house. He wants to ambush them on the road, and he's led a path, basically, to Carol. I'm gonna use her as bait. Like, what the fuck? How could that be your plan to use Carol like that? What did Carol ever do to you? Daryl basically is like, you tell me what her name is, because he's not saying it's Carol. He's just like a woman that Zeke is cool with. But that shit made me feel like we need to get rid of Richard. Because how could you try to allow that? Daryl says if anything happens to Carol, and he means anything, he's gonna kill Richard. And I was here for it. What he has with Rick is something that isn't comparable, and what he has with Carol is incomparable. Just his relationship with those two are like his closest relationships, in my opinion. So we see Rick and the group with the mystery gang. They're at the dump, and oh my god, this group was really creepy to me. I kind of felt like it was just, I don't know, it was really weird. It was really weird. And I was just like, damn, the whole crew got the black. The whole crew is in the black, the charcoal, the dark gray. They've got a uniform going on. They've got a dress code amongst the militia. They create a circle around the group, and this woman walks up with some mini bangs. She says that she wants them to buy back their lives. And that shit is comedy because Negan owns their lives. And Rick tells them that, oh no, somebody else owns us. I'm sorry, you're going to have to check with them, but no, we're already doing things for other people. So if you plan on killing us, those people are going to come after you, and I don't think you want those problems. Rick tells Many Bangs that they should join them in the fight against Negan and his people. Her reply is simply no. Gabriel grabs this woman and holds a knife to her throat. Her name's Tamiel, and he's basically like, you need to hear them out, because Rick knows what the fuck he's talking about. Their language has really been simplified. They're talking like cave people to me. I mean, not cave people with the ugh, but the like, more. I want. Give me food. I want peace. Feed me. See more? No. I don't know. They bring Rick to up. They go to the top of the heap and they see that there is rows and rows of trash that's basically their little fortress of solitude. She says that they've been there since the change, and she pushes Rick right down the trash heap like, yeet. At the bottom, Rick finds a walker on roids. This walker is decked out in warrior gear. He's got spikes coming out of everywhere. Rick has to defend himself by smashing his hand through one of the spikes on the guy's head. Rick ends up having to pull down like the trash around him to end up pinning down the walker because he's enclosed in the pit. He can't get out unless he kills the walker. He pulls down trash, traps the walker, and ends up cutting his head off with a piece of glass. And Rick is definitely fucked up in the process. Like, I wonder how many injuries Rick has had. Someone should put a compilation of all the injuries Rick has ever received in The Walking Dead. Just the injuries, period. Just someone getting shot, not deaths. And it can be people who have died eventually, but only a time when they've been injured and had to recover. Like even Herschel, like when Herschel had to get his leg cut off, that would count as an injury. Rick yells up, "Do you believe us now?" And my girl Minnie Bangs drops down the rope for him to climb to safety. As soon as Rick gets to the top, she goes, "Guns. A lot. A lot. Then we fight your fight." Like, come on, girl. Did you speak another language before? Is this part of your cult that you guys speak in very abbreviated sentences? Because these aren't even sentences. These are words. Demands. Whatever. Rick ends up negotiating after Minnie Bangs giving him a hard time. A third of what they receive from what they get from Negan, and half of the cans that they stole from Alexandria when they, kidnapped Father Gabriel. Minnie Bangs walks away, and Rick says, "Well, what's your name?" Her name is Jadis. And I like that. Jadis. If I ever have a daughter, I'd name her Jadis. I'm not planning on it. I have 2 boys, but they're both the J name, and I would consider Jadis as a girl name. And I'm a big enough nerd to do that shit because I saw it on The Walking Dead. I have no shame. Rick tells the group that they have a deal as he hobbles up very injured, and they're happy for a moment because I know sadness will come again. The sad is coming, just like the winter is coming in Game of Thrones. I can't wait for Game of Thrones to come back either. I'm not going to be reviewing that, though. Definitely not. Should I? Does anybody watch this? If anybody watches this, do you watch Game of Thrones too? I was late to the game with Game of Thrones, but I quickly became obsessed with it. Quickly. Watched it all. Watched it again, and cannot wait for season 7. King Ezekiel is passing by Carol's property, and Carol comes outside. Zeke is just saying, like, we're just clearing the dead, and, we're not trying to disturb you. But he says it in a real eloquent and intellectual way. But Carol says, well, no, you tripped one of my wires, and that's how I know. So be easy. They give her some cobbler to make her feel better, and Carol gives no fucks. Carol is such a jerk, but I love her for it. I fucking love Carol. Carol gets a knock on her door, and Daryl is standing on her porch. I almost wanted to cry myself. Carol just starts crying, like she was so happy to see him. They hug. It was a beautiful moment. I was so happy. I couldn't wait for Daryl and Carol to get back. Daryl and Carol, how dumb is it that I never even thought of that shit? Daryl and Carol. Don't judge me. Don't. Just don't. Daryl asks her, why'd you go? And she says, I had to. Rick and Gabriel are talking, and Gabriel is just basically thanking him for believing in him and just knowing that he didn't leave them and he wouldn't do that shit to them. He could tell that Rick didn't think that he had abandoned them. I love how their relationship has evolved, because we know there was one point when Rick wanted to kill him. When he first found out what Gabriel did, Gabriel proved to be untrustworthy a couple of times after that, and now he's proven to he's one of them. He's part of the family now. Rosita wants to stay out and look for guns, and Tara says no, they gotta go back to Alexandria and bring people food. This is what Rick wants to do. Rosita doesn't want to go back. She wants to get shit done. She wants revenge. And I feel like all this anger and all this just being so gung-ho with getting back at the Saviors is about trying to prevent herself from feeling the pain. She feels betrayed, and she's, having to deal with that emotion, and is real fucked up. And it's not like she could talk to him. I don't know. I really feel bad for Rosita. The Junkyard Gang tells Rick and his group that they need the guns soon, or else. And they walk away. Rick says to Tara, you can at least tell us where not to go, because you've been further than anybody. And we know that Tara knows where the fucking treasure is. Tara knows where they got all the guns. And we know she's going to tell them. She's going to tell them. She has to tell them. There's no way that she can't. For some reason, I feel like Tara's going to die when they go try to get the guns from the lady camp. Girls Town. Rick ends up taking a wire cat as a trophy for Michonne. And I had actually been looking at that wire cat. I was like, that shit looks cool. I'd take that shit. And Rick took it. Carol asks Daryl if everyone is okay. He has a long pause and he says, yeah, everyone's fine. Negan's gone. They're all gone. And she's real happy. He just can't break it to her to tell her the list of everyone's that's dead right now. Daryl ends up leaving, and I don't know, it felt like a strong goodbye. Were they saying goodbye like they weren't going to see each other again? I hope he plans to go visit her again. Daryl is sitting with the tiger, and Morgan comes in. He knows that he went to go see Carol. He tells Morgan that we need the kingdom. We need them to be part of this fight, and he needs Morgan to help get that together. Morgan says he's sorry, but he isn't the one for it. And Daryl's, he's really not happy to hear it. So he says that he's going to go back to the hilltop and he's going to do what he has to do. Morgan says that they're alike. because he knows that he didn't tell Carol who died either. Because if he had, Carol would be there. That they're just holding on to something. But Daryl's still willing to fight, and Morgan isn't. So, Daryl walks out a warrior, as he always is. And I love him. I love Daryl. He is gonna get back. They did some bullshit to him. They fucked him up. They tried to fuck him up, and they killed his friends. So Daryl's gonna whoop some Negan ass. And I'll see you later for another review of something else.